So this one's for the entrepreneurs, the driven, the change makers. In many respects, I think these are the people that help push our existence forward. You know, think of the likes of Elon Musk and all the other entrepreneurs out there that are creating new things, that are advancing our technology, that are making our world sometimes a better, but equally sometimes a worse place. But if it weren't for them, many of the things that we utilize on a daily basis, that we consider part of our daily existence, wouldn't exist. Now, this is where I counter that statement. You know, if we did all live a simple life and we're used to this, and we lived in community and we grew our own food and we helped each other and we had very little other than a subsistence lifestyle, then we wouldn't need all these technological advances. We'd probably be far happier. You wouldn't need me talking to you on the camera about how to master your mind. You wouldn't need psychologists, hypnotherapists, and all the other people out there, because you had a shaman and you had a family and you had your friends, and all of that together would have been a beautiful melting pot for keeping you sane, rational, and loving. But the world is different to that. But it's interesting, isn't it, how we're all seeking that existence, at least trying to tap into some of it. You know, the amount of tribes that are being created that are off-grid, the amount of online tribes that are being created in order to tap into some of that is really interesting. So over the last year and a half, I've been working with an entrepreneur in Nashville, and we've created a business called The 8 Decisions. And this business is directed at entrepreneurs. Because if you're not an entrepreneur watching this and I tell you that entrepreneurs suffer, you're probably thinking, oh, well, poor them. They seem to have it all. Well, first of all, they don't always have it all. Second of all, even if they do appear to have it all materialistically and as far as acquisition of things is concerned, typically they don't have it all up here because they're often missing something. So if you are an entrepreneur, this is you. Unless you've got it all figured out, which I doubt because nobody has, then I'm certain you probably do still suffer. You suffer because you have significant drives of energy to pour into your business, and yet you don't know how to find reserves of energy to pour into your friendships, into your family. You still seem to think like there's something missing. You're still searching. You're always looking for the next thing in order to progress and move your life forward. You probably fall into the trap of the material acquisition of things, you know, regularly buying new cars or new houses or whatever, and yet you're still finding yourself feeling unfulfilled. Well, that's what this business is for. It's designed for you. Now, along with the program that we're creating that's part of the 8 Decisions, we've also been running what we call the Decision Experience events. And in fact, we've just had a beautiful retreat in Costa Rica where we took a number of entrepreneurs and helped them find more meaning from this existence. And for a lot of people, that simply means tapping into the really simple things. The simple things that we shouldn't be forgetting because they're so simple. You know, the things like learning how to be, learning how to find time in the present, learning how to give, learning how to help others, you know, help nurture others, learning how to simply find time with our family when we're not thinking about the business. It can be really hard. I know how hard it is for entrepreneurs because you come home from work and your mind is still present, but it's still excited by that work. You're finding it hard to be excited by your family life. It seems so silly. All you've got to do though is learn tools to redirect that energy, but not lose the energy that you once had. In fact, at our next event in April, we're going to be talking to you about how to 10x your business without 10xing your time. It's really interesting because what it means is that you are simply learning tools, learning methods that have you move from one way of thinking to another way of thinking, where actually you will be finding more time, more free time, more creative time, that creates more inspiration, that allows you to have fun, that allows you to play, that allows you to have time working on your passions and also your loved ones. More time than you currently think you have. Right now, I suspect you're thinking you have very little time to do all these things, and yet I guarantee that you do. You just need to learn how. That's what this next event is all about. But it's also about learning a few things that might take you out of your comfort zone. You're probably going to be feeling a bit vulnerable. You may even feel a bit emotional, but it is going to be fun, and by the end of it, you're going to learn a lot. So if you fancy joining us, I'll drop a link below specifically for that event. Our next event in Costa Rica will probably be later on this year. I'll come back to you with details on that. For me, this Costa Rican experience was incredible. Even though I was there as a facilitator, as a coach, I joined in on some of the practices, and I certainly discovered a lot about myself, very much a lot about my emotions and how I've suppressed them over the years, and how, if you've been following my more recent journey, how this health experience that I'm going through right now is probably in part due to my suppression of emotions and perceptions of my existence and how I was going about my life. It's funny, us coachy, healer type folk often have many traumatic, sometimes tragic experiences in our past that have led us to be here, that have led us to gain extra wisdom. I do now believe I'm very lucky and I'm grateful to have gone through these really tough challenges, because I've learned a lot by going through them. And in the knowledge that I've gained, I can then impart it onto others. I will never consider myself having figured this all out. I'm never going to consider myself being a guru. I'm just considering myself as somebody, a normal bloke that has gone through a few experiences and learned from them. That is the trick to this, by the way, this thing called life. We are going to come across challenges. We are going to come across barriers. We are going to come across moments that completely throw us. If during those moments we can simply choose not to be a victim and choose to be the wise man, wise woman, then we will continue moving forward in the right way. Going through the challenge, suffering a little bit, gaining afterwards, moving forward. That is life. So if you're interested in the 8 Decisions, it's 8decisions.com. If you're interested in learning more about our events, it's the decisionexperience.com. Loads more coming up later on this year, but as I said, the next one is in April. It's going to be fun, and you're going to be surrounded by other driven, like-minded entrepreneurial folk. I know we're going to learn a lot by putting it on. You're going to learn a lot about yourself by joining us there. So hopefully see you there. As I said, link below. Okay, there we are. Do expect more videos from me, very much about my current health journey, optimizing my mind and my body, looking at completely new ways to become healthy and create more vitality. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited by this thing called life. So see you soon.